Yo, what's up guys? It's Phil here from Inspire Fitness. We got Jeremy. He's a really good friend of mine. He's someone that's been really close to me. He's really taught me a lot about nutrition, so it means a lot that he's joining this video. Anyways, we got a Japanese Katsu sandwich recipe today. We're changing out from pork to chicken breast, meaning lots of protein, right?
Dude, and less fats.
Less fats, definitely. And Jeremy's gonna be helping me out here.
All right, dude, I'm so excited. I actually don't make a lot of exquisite dishes, and Philip makes some really cool stuff.
I got you, man. I got you. And so in this video series, what we do is we take some of your favorite foods and turn the macros from this to this. So let's get cooking, guys. I'm super excited about this recipe. It's a chicken katsu sandwich. We're essentially dropping the fat macros by 21 grams here. We're keeping that same flavor, but dropping the fats by that much. And it's gonna be really amazing to eat this without any guilt. So let's get into it, guys. Alright, so first things first, guys, we gotta get the chicken breast and we gotta cut it in half widthwise, because like I said in a lot of my other videos, if you don't do this, that chicken breast is gonna turn really stringy, so you wanna avoid that by making it really thin. So now we're just gonna get the chicken breast and pound away here. We wanna put some cling film over it or some saran wrap over it, just because we wanna be sanitary here. And what Jeremy's doing, he's really pounding it hard with that mallet and making those little holes. And what those little holes do, it looks ugly, but they actually add a lot of flavor by, letting the flavor seep into those holes and creating more surface area for the chicken. So it's pretty simple here, guys. We just want 3 different stations. We're going to be starting off with some egg. All you need to do is just beat it up kind of, and that allows the chicken breast to really stick to the other ingredients, right? So we're going to have 50 grams of flour in the back and around 50 grams of breadcrumbs. That's all you really need. We want to really minimize the batter in this because it can add a lot of extra calories that we really don't want here. So this part is kind of the confusing part about this whole process, right? You want to go for the wet hand, dry hand method, right? So what Jeremy's doing here is he's starting off with the dry hand. So what he does is that the chicken breast sticks to the flour and that's dry. So nothing's going to stick to your hands at this point, right? So now he's going to drop it into the egg yolks. And now we're going to get our other hand, which is going to be our wet hand. And we're just going to swish it around because this is the hand that gets all wet and all that flour and the breadcrumbs are going to stick to this hand. And we don't want both the hands to be sticky here, right? So now with the wet hand, what he's doing is he's gonna flip that chicken breast in the egg yolk because the flour sticks to the egg yolk, whereas the chicken breast doesn't stick to the egg yolk. So now we're gonna get that wet hand and put it into the breadcrumbs now, because now it's gonna be nicer and clean that way. So now that the chicken is all breaded up, it's pretty simple, guys. You just want to get a non-stick spray and put it over like a non-stick sheet right here, just to kind of bake it. We're not going to be frying it here because we're going to be saving calories from the oil. So now we're going to put it in the oven at 350 for around 20 minutes. I put it into the oven and I didn't really even realize that the oven wasn't on. But anyways, don't do what we did and just kind of put it in for 20 minutes after it preheats. So now that the chicken is all done breading, we need to make that chicken katsu sauce. The ingredients will be down in the description below. First off, we got 15 grams of that monk fruit sweetener. It adds a lot of extra sweetness to the dish without any calories. We got that oyster sauce, around 15 grams as well. This is really nice because it adds a lot of saltiness and a lot of flavor, not just sweetness here. So up next, we got around 10 grams of Worcestershire. I have no idea how to say this, guys, but this adds a lot of acidity to the sauce, and it adds a lot of extra flavor as well. And up next, we got around 45 grams or 3 tablespoons of sugar-free ketchup. This stuff is really great. It's gonna season the dish a lot with some sweetness, and that tomato flavor always works well with the katsu sauce. So just mix it up and you get this really awesome, really sweet and acidic sauce. So the major tip I have for you guys when you make any type of sauce, it's always taste and season according to what you like. So this is something I learned, it's kind of obvious, right? But this is something I really learned from my chef friend, Tim. If you're watching, thank you for teaching me this. But he always stressed to me that I have to taste my food before I serve it. And I didn't actually do that before. So this is actually huge, right? So what happened here was that the sauce was a little too acidic for us. So we added a little bit more sugar and it was perfect at that point. So now we're going to add in the cabbage. This adds a really nice crunch to the sandwich. So we did something kind of fun here. We got the little potato peeler, because I saw it on a video on Tasty on Facebook that if you get a potato peeler and you can use this on lettuce or cabbage, it makes these really nice shredded pieces that go into a sandwich. So I tried it out, and guys, Tasty's kind of notorious for not showing some real things. They like to edit out some things to make it look like the hacks worked or that these little tricks kind of make things faster, but this was actually surprisingly a really great way to shred up some cabbage. I was actually really surprised. I didn't really even get to, or I need to get a knife for this. So yeah, if you can see here, there's some really nice thin pieces of cabbage, and it worked perfectly for this dish. So shout out to you guys, Tasty. You guys made an awesome method, and it saved me so much time here. So now we got everyone's favorite. We got Japanese milk bread here. This is really the secret to this recipe. It is so good. It just is so much different than normal bread, guys. So if you guys saw my egg sandwich video, then you kind of know that, I cut the crust off after I made the sandwich, and that was actually a huge mistake because everything kind of fell out. It looked kind of gross and nothing was, you kind of have to smush it a bit if you kind of do that method, right? And what you get is this really uneven breading, and you want it to look good at the end, and you worked so hard for this. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you cut off the crust before you assemble the sandwich. So what this does is it keeps the shape of the bread, and it keeps it nice and fluffy, not squished, because if you try to do this with meat or any filling inside, trust me, it's just not going to work out. Everything is going to spill out. So make sure you take the time to do this, and let's try not to waste food and eat those crusts on the side. We ate it on the side, and yeah, we just want to make sure that these are nice perfect squares so that when we cut up the chicken, that it's going to fit perfectly into the sandwich, and it's going to really go great, and it's not going to be too squished and ugly. So now it's time for my favorite part, which is just assembling the sandwich. It's pretty simple here, guys. We're going to start off with the katsu sauce. Make sure you put enough. We put just a little bit too little in this, so we didn't taste it too much, but we ended up putting it afterwards. We didn't film it though, but around maybe double this amount is good. And shout out to Jeremy for this awesome angle, this camera angle. He has this really awesome sliding thing, and it just shows the food so amazingly, and I'm so grateful that he joined me in this film. So now it's time to put the cabbage on. One thing I love about cooking at home, guys, and one thing I've really found a passion is I really love food. And when you make your own things at home, for example, this chicken katsu sandwich, you can really customize how much of each element that you want in here. So for me, I like a lot of vegetables in my sandwiches, and I always recommend to my clients to eat as many vegetables as they can. But in so many places where I get sandwiches or anything really, they really skimp out on the vegetables. So this is one reason I love really cooking at home, because I get to choose how much of each ingredient I can really put into the foods I make. So now it's time to put that chicken breast in. It was super crispy at this point, and we baked this, so there was no fat or any oils to go on top of it, and it was just as good, it was just as crunchy as you always get it. And just to kind of allude to what I was saying, right, you can really control the macronutrients of it too, because we saved on 21 grams of fat here by not frying it in oil, and we still got that awesome crunch factor in here, and we still got an awesome sandwich, and we got way less fats and way higher proteins in this. So making food at home is such a fun and a rewarding experience, because you can eat healthy, you can eat good, and you can make sure that everything goes towards your taste and towards the nutrition that you really want. So right here, we're just going to cut it up nice and easy, and you can finally see the fruits of your labor. I was waiting for Jeremy to cut his sandwich first. I didn't want to kind of show my cross section yet until Jeremy did it, because we really worked hard on these sandwiches, and it was really easy to make. Start to finish, probably maybe like 5 to 10 minutes max. And yeah, you just want to cut it in half and just really show what you've done, and you get these two awesome sandwiches with no crust on them, which really adds a lot in my opinion. I don't really like the crust, and I think the Japanese people are onto something when they make their sandwiches without any crust. And here it is, that shot of the cross section. You get this beautiful sandwich, super healthy, full of tons of veggies, and yeah, you get to eat this awesome sandwich. Alright, so that's essentially it. You get this really awesome macro-friendly sandwich with way higher proteins and way less fat than usual. One thank you to Jeremy for letting me use his equipment and for really joining me on this process. It was a really great time with him around, and he knows a lot about nutrition, and his channel really focuses on that. And we're trying to implement that on his channel. He has a lot of great workout tips, a lot of great workout and fitness content, so make sure to check out his channel. All of his links will be down in the description below, so you guys can make sure to check that out. And if you like the video, feel free to like the video and subscribe. And we also have a blog online that talks about Asian food and how to make it healthier and how to choose healthier options when you make Asian food. So hope to see you guys there. It's at aspirefitnesswalnut.com/blog, and yeah, we'll hope to see you in the next one, guys.